welcome back. Today we're going to be playing a challenge winning deck that took place on MTGO. Challenges are these kind of competitive events that take place online where people battle it out over a very long tournament. Typically it's like 9 rounds, I believe, 7, and then a top 3 kind of Swiss bracket. I think that, yes, maybe, I don't know. It's a long tournament regardless, and this ended up taking it down. Blue-black variants have been everywhere and have been very popular for a while. Before rotation, it was Esper, Raffine, and now it's just Dimir kind of mid-range for the most part outside of the demon deck that was taking kind of a different route just to bully a lot of the aggro decks. But what are we doing? What's the main purpose of this deck? And it is to be about as efficient with every spell as we can and using cards to generate a lot of value, whether it's strong cards from our opponent using like a Faerie Mastermind. Oftentimes they'll play the is it Unholy Annex, the door, and then Faerie Mastermind gets free card draw off that, which is really nice. So oftentimes on their turn 3, our turn 2, we can flash this in response to get a lot more value. We can use Gix whenever we're hitting our opponent with a Siren or a Faerie Mastermind after that turn, and then draw a lot of cards off Gix, or even later in the game using Enduring Curiosity whenever we make contact, draw cards. We're using one of the better 3 drops printed right now, being Preacher of the Schism, as a 2/4 death touching kind of bully when it comes to the board, as death touch can always reach. So no matter how big they make those creatures, the death touch will still apply a lethal amount of damage to them unless they get indestructible. We're talking about Boros, of course. Other than that, early on, Siren, activate maps, maybe get a little value. We want to flash in Kaito, very sick. We have a lot of removal straight up, which is kind of nice. This typically means like this deck that's made for best of 3 will actually be pretty good because it has so much removal. And then we have a slight amount of counter magic. Again, we are more mid-range style. We are not control, so we do not want to overload on these and be pausing our hands every turn, as we only have so many creatures with flash, it being 2 Ertais and Faerie Mastermind. We just want these to counter board wipes or very important spells to stop us from winning the game. Other than that, you have Deep-Cavern Bat to interact, and then more things just to do the things that blue-black does, like Sheoldred and Ertai. But finally, we are playing Kaito. Kaito is a super sick card. It gets a lot of play in today's video, so that's very nice. We actually get to show it off this time. I played a deck that played like 4 of them, and then I never saw it, so that was very cool. But today, on 2, of course, we see it now, because that's just how it works. But ninjutsu for 1, a blue and a black, and this is a ability, so they have to kind of have a Tidebinder or something like that to stop it. I don't think it's counterable. I think you have to counter an ability. I'm unsure about that. I might actually be wrong about that. But regardless, we'll move on. During your turn, as long as Kaito has 1 or more loyalty counters on him, he is a 3/4 ninja creature with hexproof. We can +1 make ninjas a bit larger. We don't have a whole lot in the deck like Nashi or anything like that, so oftentimes that is just to plus to activate other modes later. We can 0 surveil 2, draw a card, and each opponent who's lost a life that turn, so it's a very good kind of card whenever it comes to digging for the things we need. Other than that, we can -2, tap a creature, put 2 stun counters on it. That's very good for like a giant creature that is hard to beat, like Archfiend of the Dross is a good one. It's a 6/6, so it can close the game very quickly, but if you stun it for 2 turns and it loses all those counters, they now have a awful time whenever it comes to actually winning the game, and they could lose their own Archfiend. That's very cool. So outside of that, we're going to go ahead and hop into the games. If you all enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. Truly helps out the channel a ton. And this is a best of 3 deck, so everything else will be listed down below. Once again, just want a challenge. We're going to try it on the best of 1 ladder and see if this this blue-black variant is good enough to hold up, and maybe some slight adjustments may be made or may need to be made later on, and then when we have like a super strong best of 1 blue-black deck. So let's go hop in and see how well it does. I mean, seems reasonable. Only 3 bats in my opener, so sure, why not? This hand's incredible if we go all these bats into finding like a Gix or something. Yeah, obviously you gotta be pretty lucky to get that Gix, but alright, you get my bitter triumph, but understand that you're about to get batted to batted. Back to back bats. Alright, negate, Jace, Deuce, Negate, like, doesn't matter with our hand at all. Deduce is kind of annoying, but not necessarily that bad. Like to fight over the Jace, maybe. I can limit some of the card draw, I suppose. And just take the Jace. But Negate, I guess, can be annoying, so I'll just take it. I feel like with the Deduces, I don't really stop much. Alright. Let us move to combat. Attack. You know that pretty much they're just hitting a Deduce here. Unless they ripped a counter spell, which could happen. And the only thing we're really looking to hit, they did. Just too slow. Okay. We'll take that, and then we'll buff the one with Jace on it if it or with Negate underneath it, because that's obviously the one that's like the whatever card. And then I draw a counter spell. They deduce. They need a lot to happen. They need lands. They need cards. Find land. Bandit Hall, so they accelerate their mana a bit. Which is fine. You just get in there. Then I guess we could take their 3 steps ahead to limit like their real draw potential, I guess. But if they draw board wipe and then fire it off, I actually just lose the game. Technically something they could hit. But as long as we're able to fight over anything, I think we're actually fine. That's just where we're at. We have like 2 more turns that we have to figure out. And I might, depending on what happens next turn, be able to Deep-Cavern Bat them. Depends whether they draw a land or not. I might fire the 3 steps ahead off just to draw. If we hit a land, we could have copied a creature on an end step and figured it out. Well, thankfully, didn't do anything. Duress, I would assume they have the board wipe now. Yep, sure. I don't take the hard counter spell, which seems crazy. But the reason why they don't do that is because if I go for the Deep-Cavern Bat, they can get around it. Move to combat. Discarding a card there seems absolutely criminal to me. But now they have the counter spell, right? Is nuts, but we just let it happen, I suppose. Then we try to Deep-Cavern Bat them, and then it kind of forces them to use their counter spell. Rin. Ah, they let it go. Once again, Jace matters. Jace effectively kills a creature, if you want to think of it that way. Now we're tapped out. They draw a board wipe. They win. It just seems pretty cut and dry. Deuce. One more look at that board wipe. They probably play roughly 2 to 3 of. Doesn't seem like they hit. They probably have some form of interaction. Creature will just hold to like refill the board if need be. And now that that combat has happened, we now have the 3 steps ahead. They're taking a couple looks. But it's 5 mana. They have to draw land plus it, I guess. Alright, did you hit it? I mean, it's pretty likely at this point. They're only 21 cards deep. Untap land. Sure. Alright, now I have no fear. It could just be some simple removal or whatever, and they were unable to find it, so very sick. You take game 1. Dimir against Dimir. They were the control version. We just put in creatures and hit our opponent, and they end up dying. So that's pretty sick. Nothing like crazy, just a lot of Deep-Cavern Bats, I guess. But it goes first. Our hand's like a little weird. It's not like super weird. It's just a little weird. It's definitely a hand we'd love to go first with. Sure, because then we can play a Siren and cut down if need be, but maybe they won't have a super broken hand. Okay. Once again, it's blue-black. Put a little siren on the stack. Maybe it gets hit with the cut down or something. Most likely not going to interact. It's just you and me. You and me. Alright, counterspell. They have to have something. They have to have some 2-mana play. Like, no cut down, no go for the throw. It's definitely going to be the interference. I was just like, when are they going to play it, you know? That's his turn. I can hold up 3 steps ahead or phantom interference or kind of whatever, I guess. Just wait a turn. I guess I can just hold up like the phantom interference and I'll just activate here. If I can make a 2/2, drastically reduce the clock, that'd be sick. Weird to say, but this is 19 turns with a counter on it. It's, I guess it would still be 10, but now it would be 9 turns. And going from 18 to 9 is pretty wild. In matchups like this, that sometimes it's just how you win. You have to force your opponent to figure it out. And I will just use Mirrex to do that then. I think they're more of a control variation, unlike me. I make a Mirrex token here. I could obviously cut that down, but I'm not too... Maybe they're poison. That's my only fear, is that they're the poison deck. Mirrex is going to be super annoying for the rest of the game. So I'm going to want to close the game out, but I just don't know if my hand can provide that, especially with like the potential counter spells and stuff they got in hand. I have poison. There's a demo field. I'm just going to target my Mirrex. I'm going to do it now. That makes sense. I'll use my Mirrex. We'll grab a swamp here. Be efficient with our stuff so we can cut down this 1/1. You know, kind of just stall the turns out a bit. 3 mana. Let's get rid of this. They could counter it, I guess, if they'd like, but I'm not going to stop them. And I'm probably going to opt for a Preacher. Maybe just, honestly, maybe it's just Deep-Cavern Bat, no? Just take like a little look-see bill. Then I get to hold up both hard counter spells. We can try to stick a Preacher on the following turn. No Mirrex here. Took their Mirrex a turn off. If they counter Deep-Cavern Bat, I'm probably going to let it happen. Yeah, I'm going to let that happen. I think there's just much better spells to interact with. Like the board wipe just coming down this turn. I have it. Right here. In the hand. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe they don't go for it. They know. Maybe they think I cared about that spell. And I would have protected it. I could have. Problem is they draw a cut down and then board wipe me, or if it's Jace or something like that. They just play a Kaito. Okay. I wanted to use this harder counter spell anyway. Wish I had a Kaito. That'd be cool. You have the counter spell. They do. That sucks. Not a fan of that at all. I think we're just playing the same challenge list. Or they're playing what Covert played, which might be the same challenge list. Interesting choice, I think.
1 point for catching me.
I am in there. See what comes of it. We'll see what comes of this. Because if it is, in fact, the competitive like list, they only have spot removal. I don't think deadly cover-ups in it, but obviously altercations can be made. Or they'll just have all the removal that they ever need. And that'll just be it, I know. It's always weird to see situations where like they have the same amount of cards in hand as I do. The same amount of lands, but like they're like drastically winning this game. Should I put Kaito to 1 or not? I guess. I just have to, right?
I don't run from danger.
Oh, Kaito, you might not run from danger, but I'm crying in the club currently. Gonna lock down a thing? Well, you have to plus, I guess. You can surveil 2. Suppose. Could make a dude here, but I don't know if that's good. Maybe it was good enough. Yeah. I'm saying maybe it was just good enough.
Your secrets didn't.
Honestly, best case scenario is they throw both in the graveyard and then draw a really bad card. If they keep one, it's probably going to be enough. Okay. Yeah, wait, I know they're playing something different. I don't think we play this. Change the equation is kind of a crazy card, but that makes sense to an extent because it's really good against red. What if we do it like this? They have another one, I'll just lose. I have to kill the Kaito and stuff. They have another Phantom Interference. I'm down to just lose to that. They've already used 2. I can pay for it. I just make it 2/2 is all. No, I'm just gonna concede. It had like every counter spell for every single thing along the way, and as soon as we put 2 preachers down, they also had 2 removal. I don't think we win there. And also not paying into that still loses 3 steps ahead, so it didn't really matter. Opponent goes first once again. I have a Dimir hand, a land I haven't seen until now. Yeah, we'll keep. And opt for Mastermind if it's a bit of a slower deck and they want to draw cards. We go for Deep-Cavern Bat if it's on a red, which I haven't played yet today, so we'll see. I just need them to keep my 7. Oh no, I'm so surprised. It's mono red. Ooh. I'm actually surprised about that, but I will remove this. Now there's like a deciding factor, right? Did they slow their hand because it didn't actually have anything? Of course not. I gotta actually be productive on this board, but I don't know if it'll end up mattering. Yeah, that definitely looks like it's not gonna matter. Don't have the removal in hand for this. Oh, they played the other card that they drew. Sure. Oh, Preacher can do stuff. Deep-Cavern Bat's definitely attacking. They have a... Oh, yeah. Yep. That's going to do it, probably. Oh, what a fun game. All right, we finally get to go first, which is a very happy exchange for us. And we have a Kaito in hand. We just need to find a creature. We have the control side of our hand and kind of a 4-mana planeswalker, which is fine. We have a cut down ready to go. What will happen here? Who knows? They have Thief of Existence as their sleeve, and they are thieving my time. Okay. Oh, we'll be back, I guess. Alright, there they go. They decide they can play with us. And of course, just like every single time that happens, it's mono red. They're like the worst offenders of it, and it's like not even close. So here we have to hope they kind of don't do much. Or they're Boros, okay. Looks like they're not really going to do much, which is nice. So now I can hold up Counterspell, which I think is way more important than putting the Siren down. And Kaito can come in and just kind of tap a thing down for a while. Yeah, like that's definitely... I think this is a protection spell regardless, so... We're 3 steps ahead, we counter that. We have a cut down, which is nice. I'm going to opt to play the Siren. And a little part of me does want to activate this map just to see what's on top. And if it's a land, I'd like to get it out of the way. Very nice. I understand that there's like a little bit of value lost if I do put a counter on this and I bring into Kaito anyway. Alright, sweet. There's a Preacher. That's going to have to happen post this turn, that's for sure. Ninjutsu. I know, big surprise, big surprise. I'm going to do this before growing it. I definitely want to make sure I'm finding stuff to play. And then we'll draw that, which is huge. And then we'll play here. And then I'll actually, I'll probably just hold up to cut down. Yeah, I'm definitely just holding up to cut down. Okay. Seems good for me. I have a bigger creature now. They're definitely looking for a threat. They most likely have a protection spell. That's the problem. Another ruckus goes up. Just another turn for me. It is. Okay. Sweet. We'll put this in. I'll set this little cat down. And then they might have some amount of removal. I think I'm just plussing here. And I'll move to combat. Hit for 6. You give me a flyer. Oh man, there's another Kaito. Alright, well, we'll try to grow this. For throw seems pretty good. Just need to now draw that card. And they concede. Very cool. So on one hand, we play against red. It makes me very upset. And I just die immediately. Then we play against red. And they don't have 7 creatures in hand. That's cool. We get there. My opponent is now first. We do have some pretty good cards in hand. So I'm not like too opposed about it right now. We have a cut down ready. We have a mastermind on the horizon, along with like a triumph to answer kind of anything important. Especially, honestly, a lot of times when like that when Jace comes down and we can't answer it. But here we are, waiting once again. Right here, our theory is going to be proven. By the way. We're gonna wait, and then they're not gonna be ready, and then they're gonna ready and be mono red. Watch this. Even float their mana. My hero. Are you truly mono red? No, you're Boris. Okay. Gross. Oh, fantastic. That's fine. No protection, which is super sick. And to go for the throat for backup. Very cool. You can do something like kind of sneaky here, depending if they commit. Buddy, I think red's going to go on that regardless, my guy. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go for the throat now. Oh, all right. So no protection. I'll take one. Very sick. Land, your turn. I love that they keep tapping the mountain for a mana. Like, they're manually tapping the mountain to troll me, I think. And it's very funny. Counter that spell. I guess it's Deep-Cavern Bat for a turn. They have 3 cards in hand. Deep-Cavern Bat seems good. Hey. Those? Very cool. You can keep them. Nice Boros stack, dude. Nice Boros deck, my guy. Nice system. Nice system. Not a flash. It's just in there. Alright. Go for it. You got it? You got creatures? You got stuff? You got things? You got places to be? No? Okay. Nice, nice dead cards, my guy. Listen, I hate this card. I don't know if you could tell. Even when I played the red deck, like I have him on a red deck, I just uploaded a couple of days ago, and I talked like, this card just makes me mad, man. But 2 deck cards in their hand, very cool. First, running into this problem quite a lot. My opponent's got to stop doing that. All right, well, we know what it's going to be here. Thankfully, Kaito is a ability, ninjutsu is, so they're going to have to remove my creature if they want rid of my Kaito. Or they'll just have to bitter triumph to Kaito, I guess, or Deep-Cavern Bat me right here. Yeah. But we got answers to that, which they'll have to probably take the cut down because it doesn't do you any good to take my Deep-Cavern Bat, I think. Because then I can't play it regardless. So then I just opt for, like, make my 1/1 bigger, potentially. Alright, they go for the bat. Okay, maybe I lied. I don't know. I'm just a liar, bro. Well, well, well. I would like to activate this. They know my hand already, so it's not like it's a big deal. And then I guess do a thing, I suppose. I would like my bat back. Then I'll most likely just bat and siren again. I would assume I'm in the mirror, but blue-black is just such a popular color combination. It doesn't really matter. This could still be demons. Could see the one card come in play. They would just have to sacrifice the fact that Kaito would happen. That's a card I was not prepared for. Alright, you let me declare this an attacker. No blockers. I'll do this, I guess.
I learned something in looks like I gotta fight.
Expert's pretty sick. I'm gonna put 2 stun counters on this because I'm not getting hit with Kaito. No, I refuse.
You're not going anywhere.
All right. Other than that, Kaito can come up and attack. They can bitter triumph it, I guess. It's something they can do, but the hexproof is now there. I think I just go to attack and I just draw a card if possible. But I'll activate that after I Deep-Cavern Bat. Because they could have things like Tidebinder or Faerie Mastermind, things like that. So I want to get in their hand and interact with them. Know about both these bats because one came off of a kind of a map. So they had like an explorer. We'll see their hand first, see if we really need to interact with it. We still get to look. There's a go for the throw, so it doesn't do anything. And it kind of sucks. We can force them to use this, so then this can resolve. Or, you know, I just play 2 of the sirens, I guess. Surveil too.
My eyes are as sharp
Yeah,
as my
seems good.
sword.
I can always go for the throat this next turn. Play a siren. If they counter the siren, I'll be pumped. That's sick. That's so sick for us. That means like they didn't hit me with the go for the throat when I tried to activate the map, which they can do that now, obviously. But I have go for the throat for this dude here. They have like the creature land, which they didn't even try, which is interesting. What if? Yeah, what if I do this? What's your plan then? What is your plan then? So I can always go for the throat reef, and this only shuts off a creature, right? Can be blocked with 2, and whenever it attacks up to 1 target artifact, creature, or planeswalker opponent loses all abilities. Oh no. Not my planeswalker. Oh, okay. Elect not to use, which is interesting. Now we get to do the fun thing where they bring up the land and I just go for the throat it. This can be blocked by creatures with power 2 or greater. So I can block it. I can shut off my Kaito for a turn, I guess. Could always stun it, but like, I don't really care. There. I'll take both of these. I don't think I played the land this turn. Yeah, I did not. We'll put a counter on this because we know it's gonna hit. And then they can attack. Oh, I guess this can't block. Draw removal. Good for me. So even if they take all the abilities away from Deep-Cavern Bat, they don't get their card back because the way that I think it's layering. I have no clue, dude. I'm not blocking. I don't care. Damage. I think the way it's worded, if I'm right. Oh, it's still able to attack. That's pretty dope. I would like to move to combat, and I think you're going to concede the game. Go to blocks. I had to guess. I think they concede the game. I'm going to flash this guy in. And I'm going to take a lot of card draw. Losing all abilities and still becoming a creature seems like a weird line of text. Or is it all activated abilities? I guess it lose all abilities until an end turn. If it's a creature, it also has base power and toughness. Didn't it just come up with a 3/4? I don't know how that works. Passive, I guess it's not an ability, right? Like it's just written on the card. And it's a planeswalker that they target, so then like it overrides it. That would just happen. I mean, that's a hit the flyer, right? I don't know what's going on. They have to get one of these. I think they have to get one of these. Sure.
I need more intel.
Uh-huh. I think I know the answer to this question. I have 6. Let's play this out. Play here. Play here. Then I guess it can just be get the team. Kind of force the block. I don't know if there's like ever a double block, but the fact they didn't target my Deep-Cavern Bat, which I guess Deep-Cavern Bat would then became a 3/3. It was kind of weird to target that. But with a Gix in play and like Curiosity not necessarily doing much, losing everything. I don't know what they do from here, but sure. Now also like next turn I have a Restless Reef that can attack. Take it to 2 and you're giving me a card draw. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to take it. An unknown variable. And again, if they board wipe, for example, Reef is still here to win. So I think there's like no covering this up. No matter what they do. And I think we'll come away with the win regardless. Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what one card you draw that gets you out of this at all. Like, yeah, I cannot think of a card at 5 mana that gets you out of there. Just straight up, like 2/2 play Sheoldred, still dead to the board. Gix Command, I guess. Gix Command would do it, sorta. No, Gix Command could do it. No way. Right? No, because I think it only puts 2 counters. So what they could have done, they can attack here, shrink this, but then the problem is like this isn't attacking, so I guess it doesn't do it. But Gix Command would actually been super dope for him here if I didn't have this Reef in play. Because they could attack, shrink this, they'd be 2/2s. And then it could Gix blowing up all the 2/2s, but then they like lose their Deep-Cavern Bat, and then I have like an Ertai in this land. So it's just like weird. I guess they get to go for the throwback. I don't know. Gix Command was close. I guess they can grow their Deep-Cavern Bat, but then the problem is like they still lose. Alright, I think I've had all I can take of mirrors and mono red for the day. So this is the deck list. And it wasn't exact mirrors. There was a lot of variance in the blue-black decks, but again, blue-black kind of just being everywhere. It's like that's kind of why I built the one that I play very particularly the way I play it, because I like it just to be different. I typically never run into the same type of creatures, but here we are. We are on 4 Sirens, 4 Mastermind, and 4 Deep-Cavern Bats in terms of our early game creatures, and then all this pressure is just really, really nice in terms of applying pressure to creatures and then maybe some interaction. Wow, we had a lot of interaction for in one of our matches for as little as we play. I guess I didn't realize that. I just played blue-white control, and I was like 4 copies of this and like 4 copies of No More Lies. So I just kind of, in my brain, I just kind of thought I had more of these. But playing Gix and the Enduring Curiosity, honestly, for me personally, I like more Curiosity than Gix, just because like if Gix dies, I like lose everything, but if I have Curiosity, I still get the value, which is nice. And Kaito's just really nice. We're not overloaded on it. We're only playing 2, which is super sick. I don't like to have too many too often, although as soon as I played it, I found the other copy. They were kind of super glued together, at least in terms of like pockets of 5, which is interesting when I only play 2. So it was weird. It was a cool day. The games were something, I suppose. A lot of aggro. I just got bullied by an aggro match, made me upset, and then I took it out on the next guy, which is unfair. But we know how aggro players are. We all bond together. I just think it's funny that I called that the aggro players always they always are the ones that like won't keep their opener, or they will keep their opener, and then it's like a perfect opener almost, or they'll just like wait and then they'll play as fast as they ever can. But very cool. Other than that, there's a sideboard if you want it. It'll all be in the description below. Outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching and goodbye.